What's going on, everybody? It's three men and a baby today. We have a cool episode. Three of us have the same hairline, and only one of us is embarrassed by that. But we have a cool episode here. We're going to talk to a filmmaker that we're excited to get into it with. And, as always, I'm a dyslexic boob, so I'm just going to kick it over to him and let him introduce himself better than I can.
All right. My name's Chris Leto. I'm the owner of Reaper Films. We're a horror film production company. We've made, I've been making movies since 2010. And recently we have been putting out a lot of material. We got linked up with like a streaming channel that's basically funding our movies, and we're able to make them and get them back to them. And we've actually done 6 features since November, and which is unheard of. A lot of people take a year or two to make one movie, and we're just banging them out recently with this new deal. That's the hardest thing, being a filmmaker on my level, is finding money. And so once you have someone that can funnel you the money, sky's the limit. And we're showing that, we can make a lot of movies in a short period of time. So,
that's awesome to have that. Yeah, I think so far you're like the first filmmaker that we've spoken to that has such a deal in place. How did you manage to get that rolling?
Well, I met this guy in 2012, I think. He's a LA guy. He lives out in LA, and he's a filmmaker also. And we had both submitted our movies to a film festival. I believe it was the Fright Night Film Festival in Kentucky. And I can't remember if he reached out to me or I reached out to him about our movies playing, and we just started talking, and we've just kept in touch over the years for some reason. And he makes deals with investors, and they're package deals. So he gets a bunch of money, and then he finds a bunch of filmmakers and gives them the money to make the movies. We give the movie back to him, and then they put it on streaming and market it for us, and then we get back end pay also. Our movies are, very small, under $10,000 movies. Most of mine are like under $5,000. I've made a couple bigger movies back in like 2016, around there. I made a movie called Crazy Lake and a movie called Seeing Evil, and those both had about 90,000. But other than that, every movie I've ever made has been under $5,000. It's just my niche, my crew. We got a formula, and we just know what to do, and we bang them out. And we shoot them over like 5 to 6 days usually. We just did one a couple months ago called House Sitter, and we shot that over 3 days, a feature in 3 days, which is insane. But yeah, that's pretty much how it came about. He just reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be part of this deal. I said, sure. They do the two things that I hate to do: raise money, and then after the movie's finished, marketing it and trying to get on streaming and trying to make money on it. I hate doing that stuff. So I just want to make movies, and this has given me the opportunity to do that. So I'm very grateful for what he's given us.
Yeah, that's super cool. You just get to worry about all the fun stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if it's fun, but
I'm curious.
A lot of work.
We can't raise money to save our lives. So
no. So our last movie was made for about $200 of things bought from Spirit Halloween, and it was filmed in 2 days. And the first movie that I did was filmed with the cost of a watermelon. That was it. But dude, I'm real curious here because You say that you like generally your movies are like $5,000, okay?
Right.
And you have those two that you did 90 grand on.
Right.
So I guess typically somebody would ask, what are the challenges of working with such a small budget? But I'm curious, like if you're so used to that small budget, does it become difficult to work a movie that has $90,000 budget? Like, did you have?
It's definitely different. The way I do it now is we're very formulaic. Me and my team have built this little model of how to make it and how to do it. I'm the one that pretty much gets the cast together, finds the locations, finds the scripts. Either I write it or one of my teammates write it. In charge of everything. And then we set the shoot date, we get everybody together, our crew goes out, and I pretty much have it now to where my crew, they know what to do. And I very rarely have to step in and direct. They're pretty much running the show. They know what they know the shots they need to get. I'm pretty much directing the action with the actors. And then once the movie's finished, we go into post-production. I'm the one that edits. I edit the movie. My son color corrects, and then I usually will find a score person to do the music, and then we bang it out. So, like I said, we've done 6 movies since November. However many that was, that 9 months, 10 months, and we can usually finish them. And we just finished a shoot 2 weeks ago. We finished Monday, and I've already got a rough edit on it for the full length. So I'm very fast. I sit here and edit all day, each day, and until it's done. And it takes a lot of drive and a lot of hard work and a lot of passion, that's for sure, because nobody's getting rich over here. But it's more of a labor of love, I guess, than trying to make money. You make a little bit of money to keep you going, but for the most part, it's just doing it because I love to do it.
Yeah, and a lot of filmmakers at that same level all say the same thing, where it's 100% just like we love doing it, and that's certainly why we're out there trying to make movies with $200 worth of spare cash that we could scrummage together too. So I totally get it. The editing, that tends to be, it's such a tedious thing, but when it comes to film editing, it's one of my favorite things to do. I can't stand audio mixing. When originally we were like doing actual editing on our like podcast audios, I hated it. Right. Like I wanted to headbutt the wall every time. But
yeah, I don't think anybody likes audio. It's frustrating and tedious and difficult.
But there's just something so much, I don't know, more gratifying when you're actually sitting there editing your film and you're like putting those pieces together. And I'm kind of jealous that you just get to sit there and just bang out all these edits.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, let's say the editing comes in on the shoot. We shoot to edit. We don't have a lot of footage on the cutting room floor. We do 1 to 2 takes. I try to find the best actors I can, because they're going to come to set prepared. They're going to know their lines. And I mean, the last movie we did, we had 2 amazing actors, and I would say 80% of the shots were 1 takes, because they were knocking it out. And I'm like, there's no reason to do another one. Let's move on. You know what I mean? But we do 1 to 2 takes. And if we get to that 3rd take, I start yelling that this is the last one we're doing. I don't care how good it is, because we don't have time to do 5 and 6 takes and 10 takes. We don't have time to do that. Shooting in the amount of time that we have. But like I said, it's all formula. We don't, I know exactly what shot I need next to cut together to that last shot, and you're basically editing in your head. So once you get into post, it's simple. Like it's a simple edit. And like I said, my team they know what we need to get. They know what we need to get. So it's pretty easy for us. The hard part is finding the locations and the right cast people, like finding scripts, and that's the hard part for us. But I don't know. I've been doing it so long that it's just kind of just go through the motions and do it.
So I'm curious, like you're out of Florida.
Yeah, I'm in
And,
the Tampa Bay area near Clearwater.
okay. So when you're finding these locations, do you find yourself having to get permits and secure
Yeah,
locations like that?
I've only gotten permits one time, and that was on the cheerleader movie, the football field that we used at the end. I had to get permits for that, but I never get permits, anything like that. I always try to go to private companies, like little restaurants that are privately owned, talk to the owner, and then try to work a deal with them.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I was gonna ask if like you had that ability, or if at any point there was like some guerrilla stuff going on, because I'm always curious.
Oh yeah, we're totally guerrilla. I mean, we've done some crazy shit over the years. We've thrown mannequins off hotel balconies and crashed into cemeteries and did a funeral scene. And actually, we did a funeral scene one time, and the owner of the cemetery came up to us and was like, "What are you guys doing?" So I walked over to him and I was telling him, "Well, we're making a student film and blah blah blah." And I was like, I tried to get I tried to call somebody to get permission, and nobody answered the phone. So he wasn't real happy, but I talked him into letting us finish, which was pretty amazing. And he let us finish. So that was funny.
I have two real quick correlations with that. So when we did our first movie, we were, I don't know, still in high school, I think. And we were shooting, and we did a whole bunch of stuff in this graveyard, and we weren't able to use any of the footage because it was too dark. But somebody called the cops and reported us for cult-like activities.
Oh
so
my God.
all these cops showed up, and the great thing is that this cemetery was on top of a hill, and then so the cops are like trying to sneak up the hill to catch us doing a satanic ritual, and the main cop trips and falls and rolls down the hill and made noise. So we realized what was up. So we like all bolted and ran and like jumped the fence and then just jumped on a random porch and pretended that we lived there. And, yeah. But the throwing the mannequins, our most recent one, we had a scene where we have this kid and we throw him over off of a bridge, and the mannequin, we used a mannequin and just like whoosh threw it over this public bridge, and I have to I'm like climbing down there so I can get the shot, and then I had to swim out and grab the mannequin out of the river. So like I always love like getting like cool guerrilla stories from everybody.
Yeah, we went to, so we have a place called Ybor City in our area, and it's a historic district. Back in the 1800s, it's all brick buildings and brick streets, and a real cool place. And we do a lot of guerrilla filming there, and everybody pretty much leaves you alone. But we did a short for the ABCs of Death that came out a few years ago. They had a contest for the letter M, so anybody can submit a movie. It had to be 3 minutes or under, and whoever won the contest got to be on the ABCs of Death as the letter M. So we got a whole bunch of people together, and we went down there and we made this movie, and we had a guy like splattered all over the ground, like guts everywhere and everything. And the cops pulled up, and they said that there was a complaint of a fight going on. And I was like, no, there's no fight here. And they were like, oh, what are y'all doing, making a movie? And we're like, yeah. So they literally sat there and watched us for like 20 more minutes. They just sat and watched us filming. So it was pretty cool. And everybody, everybody likes movies, and they like, oh my God, they're making a movie type of thing. So we rarely have run into any problems with, people trying to throw us out of somewhere or whatever. But we've had some pretty good luck so far.
It seems like guerrilla filmmaking has, in a way, become just slightly easier to do now. Like, you're still a nuisance if people are bothered by it, but with everybody constantly filming for YouTube now, it's like the same laws that apply to filming in a location do not apply to like filming on your cell phone at a location. So it's just been kind of, I think, easier in that sense where
I think people are just used to being filmed and having cameras all over the place. I mean, they're everywhere. So I think it's more accepted now than it used to be.
which is cool. But yeah, again, then that also kind of like can draw attention. We are in a small town area. Like everywhere we shoot, it's all small town Pennsylvania.
Right.
So like I'm sure in somewhere a place like Tampa, Florida, you have people just out there, influencers filming content all the time.
Yeah, I mean it's not as prevalent as you think. Probably more like downtown Tampa or Ybor City. Like I said, Ybor Cities are a cool place to shoot. But I'm in Palm Harbor, which is kind of outside of Tampa, and really not a lot going on over here. It's more like people going to work and coming home and restaurants, and that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot around here. I'm sure the beaches, there's probably a lot of filming going on at the beaches and stuff. I don't really go to the beaches much. But yeah, I mean, it's around.
Yeah. So I was curious, you had mentioned real briefly before we started recording about kind of a change in direction that you've been making cinematically. Yeah. So I thought we could probably get into that because obviously, like the film that I watched in preparation was the Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter, and that's the one that just kind of jumped out to me the most because that's the type of stuff I like to watch. And what I told you what's interesting is JC was somebody who had seen one of your films organically prior to this in Deathblow. Right. So
you're the one. Actually, that movie's been performing, like it started off not doing so great. It's on Tubi and hasn't really been doing great. And then the last 3 months, it's like blown up for some reason. And people are starting to watch it. I don't know why, but it's weird. But yeah, so, when so basically I started off making movies and then I was directing and then I learned camera and I started shooting movies and I shot a lot of movies. And then after a while, I started getting the bug to direct again. And my son started shooting my movies. So Deathblow was actually the first movie that he ever shot. He never used a camera or anything before. So I kind of guided him on, how to shoot, and he's just got the eye for it. But yeah, so Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter was my first comeback movie into directing. And, it's got some sleaze and some gore and nudity. And, so I did that one, Deathblow, which has a pretty raunchy scene in it. Sammy Slick Vampire, which is vampires in a strip club. And then Psycho Science was a play on Weird Science. It was about these two girls that create the perfect man. And he's actually a serial killer. He gets crossed with a serial killer. So he's the perfect man that's a serial killer. So, but then after that one, I got this deal with the streaming channel. And the rules were no nudity, minimal gore, type of thing. And because they put a lot of stuff on their YouTube channel and stuff like that. So kind of gone away from the nudity and gore and stuff. And like I said, I'm trying to get better actors and better, locations, better filming, trying to make stuff that looks really good. And our stuff has just been getting better and better and better. Man in the Blue Suit was our first movie with this deal. And we won Best Picture at 2 film festivals. And our actress won Best Actress at one of the film festivals. So I don't know. It's been doing pretty good for me, I think. I feel like I'm getting more fans coming in and more accolades. And people are really starting to take notice of what we're doing over here.
I mean, the horror scene, it's a lot of fun, and when you love it, it's very gratifying. But again, like there's so much of the same that's kind of always there. Like you have your cliches, and that's kind of it, and that appeals to a lot of us. But that's one thing that I am curious about when I'm talking to directors, because I also have kind of these picture ideas in my head that just I don't think at least for now, will never come to fruition. Mm-hmm. But all it takes is that little drive. Well, I mean, we're filming with like iPhones and my friends, and that's about the extent of it. And I just don't trust us to be able to make some of the stuff that I'm writing. And maybe here in the future we can bang it out. I have this idea that I've been sitting on for probably 15 years called Goldfish, and it's kind of like uh, it's a drug fueled thriller kind of,
Mhm.
but yeah, there's just so much moving parts that go with it. I just don't even. It's like we can run from the cops. I know we could do that. We could throw things off of bridges. We can smash watermelons. So with the limited time that we have, I just know that we're able to do that. But
Right.
um, it's always cool to see like growth and storytelling
Yeah, of
change.
course.
And we were talking to a filmmaker the other day, and he had pointed out that like as fun as this is, he noticed that there's a lot of like the same actresses kind of showing up in all of these movies, and they're all
Yeah.
great and wonderful. There's almost like this dichotomy where everything's kind of looking the same now because of
Right.
it. So he's trying to like work with other people to just to
Mhm.
make his stuff feel fresh. So just the
Yeah.
idea of like there's a fresh coat of paint,
Of course.
versus here's more slashers and naked girls and stuff. It's
Right.
it's
And
something that
that's the thing is, you say the naked girls, there's only a small group that will do that in our area for what we're paying them, which isn't a whole lot of money. So um, we get a lot of like fetish models and stuff like that have no problem doing that, and try to teach them to act, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So what I'm doing now, I'm able to find the really good actors that are serious about being actors, and all they want is an opportunity. So I'm giving them, hey, you can be the lead in a feature film that's going to be on streaming channels all over the world. Here's a couple $100. So they're happy that they're even getting anything, and they're being able to be a lead in a feature film, and hopefully they get noticed by somebody bigger in the future that will give them an opportunity in a bigger movie. So I feel like my stuff is like a launching pad for people to further their careers. So now they have a lead role on their resume. They have footage for their reel that's going to look really good, and that's a big plus for them here, and it helps me because now I got some pretty good actors in my movies. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. My crew, they're able to get bigger jobs now and stuff because they've got a huge resume now of all these movies they've done. And I enjoy that. And I don't even know if somebody said, hey, I got $1 million, would you want to make $1 million movie? Like, I don't even know what I would do with $1 million. I would probably make like 500 movies. I don't even know. Like, I love the way we do things. I've had movies in the past where we had bigger crews and stuff, and it's like one guy's doing all the work and three people are sitting there eating snacks. You know what I mean? And I've got the core now where it's me directing, my son is shooting, my guy Ricky Garcia is doing gaffing and pretty much everything else, operates the drone, picks up the boom mic if we need. He shoots B cam sometimes. And I got Adam Shipley, who's doing all my audio. And then my guy, Patrick Godlewski, is my script supervisor. He's the one that keeps everything together, organized. This is what we got to shoot. This is what we've shot. This is what we're doing next. He's the guy that keeps me organized and keeps track of continuity and all that stuff, so I don't have to worry about it. So my job is basically turned into standing there watching a monitor, making sure the shots look right, knowing what's going to cut next to it. And that's basically what we've done. I mean, I'm self-taught. I started this in 2010. I was a mortgage broker, and I just loved movies, and I was kind of enamored with the making of movies, like how they did stuff. And I was always watching behind the scenes, special features on DVDs and stuff like that. And wrote a script and just decided I was going to do this. And I made a feature called If I Can't Have You, and I had no clue what I was doing. and it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it taught me a lot of how to put something together, how to find locations, how to find actors, finding crew people, and I didn't know anything. And then I learned how to edit myself, like just watching videos and teaching myself. So, um, being self-taught is you can only improve with each movie. Every movie you're learning more and more and more. And in the early years, I always surrounded myself with people that knew way more than I did and tried to learn from them and learn as much as I can from those people. And so now I'm in a situation where I know how to produce, I know how to direct, I know how to edit, I know how to shoot. I know about audio here and there. That's probably my Achilles heel is audio. But I've gotten a lot better at it recently. There's a lot of tools in DaVinci Resolve that are amazing, that I've learned how to use. So just all self-taught, man. Like it's just something that I enjoyed doing and I was very interested in, and I've just kept doing it. So anybody can do it, man. It's just a matter of if you have that drive and that passion to succeed in it. Not saying that I've succeeded, but I've succeeded in my mind on what my goals are. And,
I love DaVinci. I started using that, maybe 2 years ago, just the free version of it too. And
yeah.
it's
Once you get in the pro version, there's a lot of amazing audio tools. Like they have an AI voice isolator that basically takes out every sound except for their voices. And it's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, obviously if you do that, you have to put other sounds in there, but you can adjust the levels of how much you want isolated, and it's incredible. Like my audio has gone up like 100% from when that started. I think it came out like 2 years ago, and amazing tool. So and if I don't know how to do something, I look up on YouTube and some 10-year-old kid teaches me how to do it.
Yeah, the tutorials are plentiful there. But the audio, man, yeah, that's a thing, especially with like the lower budget filmmakers. There's always audio issues, even in final products that you're finding. And I mean, obviously, a lot of stuff that I watch, I end up watching on YouTube or Tubi or whatever. So even
once the thing is, people use that as an excuse. Oh, well, I don't have money to pay for this or that or whatever. You don't need money, man. Like just learn how to do it yourself. And the thing is, like, the more you know how to do yourself, the less money you have to spend on somebody else to do it. And that's how we're able to do this. So basically all I have to pay for is my crew to be on set and shoot a movie for me, and everything else I do myself. So, and it takes a lot of time. It does. I'm not going to lie, but if you have that drive and passion, you get it done. And, I've met so many filmmakers over the years, and there's the guys that are, oh, I'm going to make a movie one day. There's the guys that, oh, I don't have any money. The guys that do make something and it takes like 5 years for it to come out because they're afraid that it's going to suck. Yeah, your first movie's going to suck. It is. There's no way around it. But you use that as your film school and learn how to get better and find people that are better than you and learn from them. And it's a process. And I mean, shit, it's taken me 15 years to get where I'm at now. And I'm not even really anywhere further than I was. It's just I make more quality movies than I used to. I mean, that's really the only difference. I'm making the same amount of money. I'm, same quality or the same budgets. It's just a matter of doing it. And there's a lot of people that don't. So I pride myself on getting things done.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where we have so much knowledge like at our fingertips at all times through your phone, through your computer, that like it's anybody can almost put out like at least a semi decent film, if they really apply and put the time in there. And there seems like everybody in the industry is willing to help others too.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that'll reach out to me, I'm happy to help them out. And give them as much advice as I can. Half the time they don't listen to anything I say and do something that I told them not to do, and they do it, and then they're like, "Oh, I wish I had listened to you." Yeah, well, I've made all the mistakes already, and I try to help people.
What do you think, for, let's say, somebody that hasn't ever made a film before and is looking to make one? What do you think? What would you tell them is um, the hardest barrier to entry right now?
I think the hardest thing is probably to find talented people that are willing to work into your budget. I mean, that's the thing is, I'm lucky. I found a good group of guys that do it because they love it. And, I pay them as much as I can based on what my budgets are. I wish I could pay them more because they're definitely worth it. But just finding those people that are passionate and they want to be there and they're excited to be there. And they're like, I don't care how much you pay me, but they can make your movie look great, sound great. Your FX look great. Your actors are great. That's probably the hardest part. The easy part is filming it and making a schedule and filming it and editing it. I mean, that's the easy part. But I'm fortunate to have an amazing team with me. And I don't know if you've seen any of my recent stuff. We got a couple movies on Tubi right now. Man in the Blue Suit, and I think Creeper in the Woods, I think, is on there. And you can see the quality is there considering we spent $5,000. So now to me, like, I look at other people, I'm like, there's no excuse for you to not be able to put out a decent product with hardly any money. You know what I mean? But again, I think they're either lazy or they're afraid to put something out because they're afraid it's not going to be good and nobody's going to like it or whatever. Like, they want it to be perfect, and there's no perfect movie. Even $100 million movies aren't perfect. I mean, there's you can go on YouTube and look at all the mistakes in movies, and there's millions of them. Once somebody can get past that, you can have a little career in this stuff. I think that's the biggest hurdle is believing in yourself and putting out something that's not perfect. And I know a lot of people will be embarrassed by it or whatever, but every movie has an audience, and there's people that love my movies and there's people that hate my movies. So you're not going to please everybody. So once you can get past that, I think you can have a career doing this.
Yeah, I always, whenever I think about, like, we put out movies and stuff and like, oh, is this bad? Or, worrying about it being too perfect. I always think, there's millions of movies out there online and there's millions of them that suck.
So, of course, there's terrible ones out there.
Yeah.
And they're on Tubi and they're terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did these guys think this was okay to put out? You know what I mean? But there's people that like it.
Yeah. There's one specifically that's, I don't know. It's bad, but it's like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And I don't know if it was meant to be funny or not, but the concept behind it is insane. But it's called Butt Boy. Have you heard of that?
No. I'll have to look it up.
It's actually, it's not as, I mean, it's weird. So people go missing, and it's the guy shoving people up his ass. That's the concept of the and I just came across it one day. It just like autoplay on Tubi, and it started recommended movies, and I don't know. It's such a weird thing, and it's not like there's nothing over the top in the movie aside from the plot. There's like the scenes and stuff. There's nothing like visceral or anything like that. It's just kind of a
just a normal movie with a guy.
Yeah, like I don't know, but I've talked about the movie before on other podcasts, so maybe people have already heard me talk about this. But it's just one of those things. Like, if somebody put that out there, like, I don't really care about what I care,
exactly.
that it's up to our standards. But like, if somebody hates it or something, I'm just like, well, somebody liked Butt Boy, and that somebody's me.
Exactly.
So, don't ever.
There's an audience for everything. Trust me.
Yeah.
For everything. But I mean, here's the thing: the advantage that you guys have is there's two of you. So if one of you guys learned how to edit really good, learned audio really good, the other guy learns how to shoot really good and capture audio really good, you guys can make a team and knock stuff out faster than I can because I'm only one person. I started making movies with my friend Sean Donahue that I met. I met on my very first movie. I put a Craigslist ad out for actors, and he saw it, and he was like, "Hey, I just got out of film school, and I'm looking to get on something and whatever." So he met up with me, and we just hit it off. We had a lot in common, and we're still making movies to this day together. He makes his own stuff, I make my own stuff, and then we'll team up on something here and there. But he learned how to do effects. He learned how to write. He learned how to direct. I'm all the technical stuff. I was the shooter for his stuff. I was the editor for his stuff. And now that we have my son that shoots now, it frees me up to do other things now. So it's nice to have more people in your boat than just yourself. So that's nice that you guys have a kind of a team now. And you just need to find a couple more people. I mean, shit, my crew is 5 people, including myself. And I think we make pretty quality stuff for $5,000.
We have a couple other dudes, but they're our lovable total shitheads that are just the headaches.
Yeah. So find people that aren't a headache. There's people out there. Where do you guys live?
Pennsylvania, and he's in Ohio.
Okay. There's people out there that just got out of film school or have a passion for it and kind of have some skills, you know what I mean? And they just want to get on stuff. They don't care how much the money is or whatever. Just put some ads up and you can find these people. You can find a DP that owns gear. I mean, that's huge. If you got a camera guy that owns gear, you pay him a few $100 to shoot your movies, he would love that. And there's always people out there that'll do stuff for free, or we'll do it for a couple $100 and some food. It's just a matter of finding them. And I've worked with, over the 15 years, I've probably worked with 150, 200 crew people. I mean, and now I got this team now that we all like each other. We have fun on set, but we get the job done also. And each one of my guys knows how to write, shoot, edit, everything. They all know how to do everything. So I'm just lucky that I have these guys, and we've made a pretty good team, I think, so far. And we're trying to get some bigger stuff going. Maybe $20,000 to $50,000 movies. But again, it's hard to find the money. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, Drew's pretty much the workhorse, honestly. Like, I do some of the background tech stuff and that, but Drew comes up with pretty much everything. He's the mastermind. But when we were doing the editing, we had 2 individuals that were supposed to be doing the editing, and it did not transpire that way. But we found, and I can't remember the name of the platform right now. So if anybody wants to know what it is, just comment on the video and I'll find the name. But we found this platform that was really, we uploaded the movie, and then Drew and I were both remotely able to go in and live edit the video, which I thought was the coolest thing, because there was no passing back and forth. We didn't have to listen to each other. Here's my cut. Here's this cut. That was really cool. But you gave me an idea, and I don't know why I haven't thought of this before, but like here where I live, we have there's a college pretty close here. We don't at this community college. Like, why aren't we utilizing people from there?
Right.
Yeah,
film students are eager. Like, they want to get on movies. They don't care what it is or how much they're getting paid. They just want experience, And everybody's set is different. Everybody runs their set different. Everybody's style of directing is different. And for these guys to be able to get on different sets is just going to be invaluable for them, because they can take what they learned on this set and what they learned on this set and what they learned on this set and make their own little way of doing things. You know what I mean? So for them, it's all about experience. They just want to get on movies, and they don't care how much they're getting paid. and like I said, I've worked with so many crew people over the years, and I've learned from a lot of them, and there's some that I knew more than, and they learn from me, I learn from them, and it's a happy thing. I mean, shit, I still learn stuff today, to this day. Our last shoot, I learned stuff. We did a car scene this last time. We usually get in the car and drive and shoot. This time we set up the car in the dark, and we had a light spinning, so it looked like they were going under street lights, and we had a fog machine hitting the headlights. So the car's stationary, but it looked, with the sounds and it looks like it's moving. And I had never done that before, and it came out really cool. And it was so much easier to shoot because you can get different angles now. You can pretty much do whatever you wanted, and it came out really cool. So we're probably going to end up doing that from now on, the way we did that, because car scenes are a pain in the ass.
That's fantastic.
You're just so limited with the angles you can get. The audio is usually terrible. Like it's really, and the shaky camera, like it's really hard to shoot car scenes. So the way we did this was pretty cool, and we were able to get whatever angle we wanted and control the audio and everything. So it was pretty neat. But yeah, I just learned how to do that 15 years, and I just learned something. So it's all a process, and just try to get better with your next project. So, but you guys should do stuff.
Oh yeah, we hope to. Like that's what I want to just do. I want to just do this all the time. Hopefully, here in the future, that'll be the thing. Because the day job sucks, man. I'm tired of it. I want to make my art. I guess every artist has that thought.
Yeah.
But
we're all starving.
Right.
Trying to make ends meet.
Years ago, I met a filmmaker. He's gone on to actually really make something of himself at our level. His name's William Long. He's out of Ohio now, but when I met him, he lived out here in the middle of Pennsylvania, and he was just filming to film with his kids, and right. It was just like what he liked to do was make movies with his kids, and he had all of these real cheap burnt DVDs and things on YouTube and stuff, and I never miss an opportunity to promote this because this guy is now remaking these movies that he made with his kids with a production crew, nice. With red cameras, with everything. And it all started with I was just making movies with my kid. And now you mentioned that your son is basically your cinematographer now.
Yeah.
And so is that something that he was always interested in doing, or is that something that kind of became a thing because dad does it and now he's a bonding moment?
Yeah. So I have two sons. My son Bo is the one that works on my sets. My other son Jaden is actually a pretty damn good actor, and if he had the passion for it, he could, and took acting classes and stuff, he could be really good. But he just doesn't have that. He doesn't care about it, and he's been in a few of my movies, and I kind of drag him onto it. He's like, okay, I'll do it, type of thing. But my other son, I mean, he was 12 years old when I started making movies, so he kind of grew up with it, moving lights around and whatever, seeing naked women all the time and all this stuff. So he was always kind of wanting to he was interested in it. And when we did Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter, he did the audio for me, and I had a friend of mine, Tanner, who shot it. And so when we were going to go do Death Blow, I was going to have Tanner shoot it again, but something happened with Tanner. I can't remember, and he wasn't able to do it. So I was like, I'll just direct it and shoot it myself. So dumb. So after 2 scenes, I was like, there's no way I can direct this and shoot it at this. There's no way. I can't do both. So I took the camera off my shoulder, gave it to my son. I said, all right, you're shooting it. And, I guided him, but for the most part, he was pretty much setting the shots up himself. And you can see the progression in each movie that he's shot. And I mean, shit, now he's done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's shot 10 movies in 2 years, 10 features in 2 years, which is crazy. And you can see that each movie he's getting better and better and better and better. And now House Sitter, he ended up writing that one. That was his script. That was his first script that he wrote. He knows how to edit. He knows how to do visual effects, like, any VFX work or anything. He kind of knows how to do that. So yeah, it's amazing that I get to work with my son on something that I love and that he's enjoying or seems to be enjoying. And he works hard. Like, he really works hard to be better. And he learned how to color correct. I mean, he does color grading on my movies now. So he's always been one that really works hard. And once he says, I'm going to do this, he tries to be the best at it. So he's got a drive and a work ethic that's pretty amazing to watch. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool having him on set with me.
Yeah, in just a short amount of time to have that much experience, man. There are people with years of experience that don't get to do that.
Oh yeah, I know people that have been shooting for 15 years and they have like 8 features. I'm like, dude, you have 10 in 2 years.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. A wonderful body of work. And another thing is, like, we talk about Tubi a lot because, a lot of the stuff that we're watching or making or whatever, like, that's basically the best platform for it.
Yeah, they pay out the most too. So
in comparison, like, I feel like what I've seen from you is head and shoulders above the other stuff I generally will watch on Tubi. Like, it looks very crisp. I was really taking that in with the cheerleader sleepover slaughter that I had on this morning. Like, and this TV that I'm using as a monitor right now, it's older, so I can't imagine it's even like a 1080p. So it's probably I'm working probably with a 720 monitor right now, and I thought that movie looked stunning. Like, it was really just shot well lit, and
right.
So, like, mad props on that because again,
shit, that movie was like I said, Tanner Hand shot that, and Bo was helping him with lights and just moving lights around and stuff. So the stuff we're doing now, I would say from Man in the Blue Suit on up, Ricky Garcia is my gaffer, and dude is incredible with lighting. Like, our lighting has been so badass lately. So combining the awesome shots my son's getting and his lighting is just, it's turned into like these beautiful movies. They're almost too beautiful to be like low budget $5,000 movies. So, but they're making me look good because their skills are making me look good. So I don't really have anything to do with the shots and what they're lighting. I just kind of, like I said, I got it to where now I just let them go and do their thing, and I sit there and watch a monitor. And if there's a shot I want to get, I'll say something. If I want to actor needs some direction, I'll do that. But for the most part, it's on autopilot right now, and it's pretty cool to see what we've built and what we're accomplishing now. Like I said, we've won some awards and at film, and I don't really do film festivals very much. There's a couple local ones that I put my movies in. So we put Man in the Blue Suit into 2 film festivals, and we won Best Picture in both of them. So I think we're doing something right. But we'll see what happens in the future. It sucks because I got a bunch of movies that aren't on streaming yet, that they're finished and they're not on streaming yet. The only ones I think recently are Man in the Blue Suit is on Tubi, Creeper in the Woods is on Amazon, The Bombshell Butcher is on, I think that's on Amazon also. And then the other ones, Frost Park, House Sitter, Diary of a Serial Killer haven't been put on streaming yet. So they should be up in the next month or so.
So this is probably a wild question to ask for the output that you have and that you guys are just chugging and chugging and chugging. But, like, is there maybe a dream project or something that you really want to do that you haven't been able to do yet for one reason or another?
I have a movie that I wrote called Goth Girl, and it's probably the best script I've ever written, but it's probably going to need, I would say, minimum 15 to 20,000 to make it. It's just because I got some interesting locations that are probably going to cost a little bit of money to get them. I really want to make that, and I'm trying to find the money for it. I got a couple people I'm talking to, trying to get the money for. But that's the one. And this one started off as a $1 million project. I was like, this is my $1 million movie, and I had a whole list of actors that I wanted to get for it, and different things. But then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, is this $1 million movie? Like, I don't think so. So I'm going to try to make it for like 15 to 20, which is crazy. But, the good thing about making $5,000 movies, it's practically impossible to lose money. I've never lost money on a movie except for the two big ones. The one, Crazy Lake, got a horrible distribution deal. And there's a whole story behind that one where I lost the rights to it. I had the producers buy me out and all this stuff. It was a big mess. But that movie has not made its money back. And then Seeing Evil was another movie I think we made for 80. And again, bad distribution deal. And, we haven't made money back on that one. The rest of them, $5,000 movies, they're all in profit, every one of them. So that's nice.
Yeah, for sure. You're like the first person that has gotten into that portion of the business, so to speak. Like, most people aren't really I don't know, open about that, at least when we're recording. I don't know, sometimes, like, I don't know if it's like the horror stories of
Oh, it is. The distribution game now it's terrible on our level. Like, every distributor is a predatory distributor. They'll take your money. They will show you fake reports showing that the movie hasn't made any money.
Yeah.
And you make nothing. Here's a story. So I had my second movie I ever made, the Housewife Slasher. Back then, you could put your movie on Amazon to rent. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it went through Amazon, and it was like when Amazon first started doing movies. And I put it on there myself, and I was making $150 to $200 a month just having it sit there, and people were finding it and renting it. And then this company, Wild Eye Releasing, they emailed me and they said, hey, we want to distribute your movie. So this was my second movie, and I'm just like ecstatic that somebody wants to distribute my movie. So I signed a 4-year deal with them, and in 4 years I made $320 in 4 years with them. So meanwhile, I was making $150 to $200 a month, just no marketing or anything. It was just sitting there, and I made $340 in 4 years. So that happens with every distributor nowadays. I got a friend of mine that just had a movie distributed through a company called Bayview Entertainment, and he showed me on paper his first report for the year. In 1 year, he made $180 in a year. That's insane. Like, that's just bullshit. So what I've been doing since I started, Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter was my first one. I started using FilmHub, and basically you upload your movie through FilmHub. They put it out on streaming channels, and then you get 80% of whatever the movie brings in. So they're basically a middleman between you and the distributor. So more of an aggregator than anything. And I've been pretty happy with them. I mean, I'm making a little bit of money on my stuff, and like I said, all my movies are in the green. So anything I'm making now is just gravy. So I'll take that $200-300 a month that I'm making, and I'm happy about it. But then with this deal I have now, the streaming channel, they're in charge of all that now. So I'm just make the movie and give it to them, and then they put it out wherever it's going to go. I don't even know where it's going to go. They put it out.
So I'm curious with that deal, since they are financing, do you have any rules against seeking like crowdfunding or like an Indiegogo campaign or something?
What I do, I don't. So I'm not able to give DVDs away. I'm not able to give, streaming right. They own everything. They own all the rights to the movie that I make for them. So I do a thing where before our movies, I'll do producer credits. I sell producer credits just to make a little extra money. And so we sell like a executive producer credit for like $150, $100 as a producer, and $50 as a associate producer. And then I have a special one where it's like $200 and you get your name first in the credits and all this other stuff. So, and I make between $1,000 to $1,500 doing that. And that adds to whatever they're giving me. So, you know, it's just a little extra money for us to buy a little better food, hire next, you know, better actors, pay my crew a little bit more, you know, stuff like that. Because the streaming channel, they're not giving me a whole lot of money. You know, they're giving me a little bit. I'm able to put a little bit in my pocket to pay myself. And then the added credits that I sell is a little bit extra. So, but
cool,
that's pretty much it.
option.
Yeah. And then I usually will rent. We have a theater here that we can rent for like $300, and I'll have a premiere sometimes. Once in a while, I'll do a premiere, and, you know, I'll make $400 or $500 on that. But, you know, it's not a lot of money, but it keeps me going. And, you know, so right now I just finished a rough cut on Do Not Open that we just shot a couple weeks ago. And I don't have anything till next April with this company. So I'm trying to find a couple projects to do in between. And, I'm not sure how I'm going to get the money yet. So I'm trying to figure that out. We have like 4 scripts ready to go, and, you know, I got to find the money for it.
All right, cool. We hit that like hour mark. We usually like to cut it off there.
Okay.
I've been muting here because the baby got bored, so I had to go put him in front of Miss Rachel. Now he's loudly watching that. But the last couple of minutes here, we always, you know, we like to finish up with the guest once again, kind of reiterating their plugs and whatnot. And of course, you know, for like the non-visual platforms, I'll go ahead and put the like links and stuff in the show notes or whatever. But yeah, go ahead and, you know, take a moment or two and remind anybody listening where to find your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you join our Facebook group, it's Reaper Films Horror Productions. Join that group. You can keep up with all our stuff. We usually post our castings in there when we're selling producer credits, our new trailers, where to find our movies to watch. Most of our stuff's on Tubi, I believe. I think Creeper in the Woods is on Amazon. And the rest of our stuff hasn't been released yet, so we're waiting to get that released. But join the group, and I mean, that's pretty much where you can follow everything that we're doing right now.
All right, cool, excellent, man. This was good. I appreciate
you guys.
Had fun with this. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So we have an outro. And we go ahead, we can play that, and you're free to go. We're not holding you hostage any longer, so you don't have to sit through it if you don't want to. And again, thank you, and I'll be in touch with like links and stuff.
Okay, great. I appreciate it, guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Have a good day. Thank you.
The preceding program has been brought to you by the Watchers Podcast Network. If you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends to help grow our network. Check us out on all social media platforms, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, thanks for your